Of her 8 new babies. Good morning again, Ann.
Good morning once again, Meredith and Matt. After the initial positive reaction of the births, Nadia, now with 14 children, all under the age of 8, has come under intense scrutiny. Questions are being raised about her in vitro fertility treatments and how she will raise so many children as a single mom without a job. But throughout our interview, she seemed confident that her babies will be loved and cared for as best as she can.
This is Noah and Malia. We're doing, really well.
While controversy swirls outside the octuplets hospital, inside the neonatal unit, it is peaceful.
Hi, Malia. Your eyes are open. This is Noah, and he's doing well. He's really well. He's not on oxygen or anything. And he's the blonde one. He's Jonah, the tiniest one that was the troublemaker, and that's why they had to deliver early. This is Isaiah, baby C. Hi, Angel. You recognize my voice? Nadia, D. Hi, sweetie. I wish I could be here all day. You're F. But he's Jeremiah. And he is on bilirubin lights for jaundice. Hi, Makai. I love you. I want to hold you. I'm going to come back and hold you. Hi, Josiah. I wish I could stay a long time, all day long, and I can't. Your brothers and sisters at home want to see you. I feel torn because I have the other kids at the house, and I want to be here too. And I can't wait till they're all together because it's like we're not a whole family yet.
How did an only child end up with 14 children?
That was always a dream of mine, to have a large family, a huge family. And I just longed for certain connections and attachments with another person that I really lacked, I believe, growing up.
How did this impact you, being the only child in a family, you say, where you were wishing for more affection from your mother?
I just would long for siblings. It's very different to have a lot of friends. My mom would rationalize, well, I always provided you with many, many friends. And I'm like, yes, I know, that's true. It's very different. It's a very different bond, siblings and friends.
During a failed 7-year marriage, Nadia's attempts to have children ended in a number of miscarriages.
I had so many reproductive problems, from fibroids to severe endometriosis, lesions. I have also had a laparoscopy to get rid of lesions in my fallopian tubes. They turned out my tubes were scarred. So the only option left over was IVF.
Nadia says she had her first procedure at the West Coast Infertility Medical Clinic that now goes by the West Coast IVF Clinic in Beverly Hills. She says the doctor implanted more than the average number of embryos because of her medical history. They're saying what he did for the first time was wrong, that you should only do transfer. 1 or 2.
Okay.
They're saying 1 or 2 at a time.
Taking my history into consideration, it was very appropriate. And then once that was done and one grew and it was very healthy.
And why didn't you stop?
He deserved siblings. See, that's again me projecting my own wants and wishes onto my child. And I continue to do so throughout all of them. I'm focusing on their needs while still focusing on mine, wanting that huge family. Not really, I'm sure they would say they did too, but they knew that's what I wanted. So I know now that I may or may not have really deep down wanted that many siblings. But I at the time, I was so focused, so fixated on wanting so many that I just kept going.
So you're saying you deluded yourself into thinking that your 6 kids wanted a bigger family?
Not really deluded myself, but I knew that's what I wanted.
Nadia says she returned to the same clinic, once again having multiple embryos implanted, and her family continued to grow 1 child at a time until 2006 when she had twins. To what degree is this too much about you and not enough about them?
I think after the 6, I started to acknowledge that, I don't want to have too many more. I'm going to use what I have available.
Nadia says she had 6 remaining fertilized embryos. Not wanting them to be destroyed, she says she asked her fertility doctor to implant all of them. Did you use the same fertility specialist for all of your pregnancies?
Yes. Some people will be like, whoa, that's too many. And a lot of people are not aware of statistics involved in IVF. There is a very low probability of success in most procedures. And on any given procedure, about 50% chance one will grow, maybe less. So the most I would have ever anticipated would have been twins. Yeah. It wasn't twins times 4.
And they told you that these embryos could split?
There's always a chance. There's always a chance.
So this was explained to you?
Yes, and plus I research everything.
You obviously do.
Yeah, I do. Mm-hmm.
So you're saying you were fully informed that there was a possibility of a high multiple pregnancy, although you didn't think it was likely.
No,
because of your past experience.
The statistics on that, 0.0000001%.
Did he tell you about the risk to your heart, to the risk that your uterus would rupture?
Oh, sure.
The risk of cerebral palsy to the children?
Oh, yeah.
The risk of developmental problems?
Yes.
As they grow up? He told you all this?
Yes. Yes.
And you went ahead?
The only reason I went ahead is it's not like it was anything different.
So to people then who have criticized not just you, but criticized your IVF doctor, what do you say to those?
Different. I say he did nothing different. He did nothing wrong.
Tell me that moment. I'm trying to understand what that must be like to be a woman lying on the table. Your belly is growing. You know it's bigger than it should be.
It is. So then I went in for prenatal care very early. They actually could see them at a month. And then he checked in. He's like, oh, yeah, how many did you have transferred? And I told him. And he's like, yeah, oh, they're all there.
What was in your heart? What was in your mind?
I embraced it fully. I embraced it. What else was I going to do? Immediately.
That you had more than 5, 6
They saw about 5 in the beginning.
embryos in your uterus. No qualms, problems?
No.
At 30 weeks, when they came to you and said, these babies have got to come out now, what were your emotions when you heard
The
that?
disappointment in myself.
Why?
Because I wanted to do the very best I possibly could as an incubator for these babies. And everyone knows, the womb is the best place.
So you started to you started feeling guilt?
Absolutely, yeah.
And fear?
Fear,
what were the emotions?
Guilt, fear, disappointment in myself for not being given the opportunity to go farther. These may seem irrational, but they're just feelings.
So the doctors come through.
So they're waiting. They have everything prepared. It was just amazing how they did it. They had everything in order. It's so ordered, so organized, and everything A, B, C, D, E, F, G, color coordinated.
You're lying there thinking,
what's happening? I was a little nervous and I was focusing also on the pulling and the pushing. All of a sudden, there was this a weird commotion. It was just people are kind of screaming. And then all I heard Dr. Maples say, there's an H. That's all I remember. There's an H. And then they got the H. And I actually started crying. The overwhelming feelings of shock. And I was thinking something irrational. Where are they going to put H? Hi, Jonah.
Describe the first moment when you actually saw these babies.
So the next day I went to see them, and they were amazing. They were just so tiny. They looked so tiny, but they were just miracles. They were beautiful. They were just so beautiful. And they're so healthy. Healthy, yeah. Very healthy and thriving and just active, very active.
It will be several weeks before any of the octuplets are released from the hospital. Are you ready for this?
I have to plan. Every single day I'll become more ready, because I don't feel it helps anybody to become overwhelmed. You either swim and stay afloat, or you're going to allow yourself to drown. And especially in this given circumstance, I certainly can't allow myself to drown, for the benefit of the kids.
Some feel you did this to make a lot of money, intentionally to make a lot of money.
That's really funny.
Funny?
That's funny how untrue that is. Money is necessary to raise children, but is paper. It is paper. To me, it is superfluous in contrast to the importance of my kids. And no, I am not receiving help from the government. I am not. There's nothing wrong with that for other people, but I am not trying to expect anything from anybody. I just wanted to do it on my own. Any resources that someone would really, really want to help with, swings or something in regards to just the children, that I will accept. I would embrace. But I'm going to do the very best I can to give them as much attention as possible with the help of volunteers, friends, and family. What else can one do?
When you had 6, you could have financially afforded them?
I was struggling, but it was okay. It was okay, thanks. And I have to always thank my mother for allowing us to stay in her home. Without my mother's help, probably not.
So if you were struggling when you had 6 children, did you have a right to get pregnant again?
Again, I didn't believe it would even work.
How will you feed all these children?
I will feed them. I will do the best I possibly can. And in my own way, in my own faith, I do believe wholeheartedly that God will provide in his own way. And again, I know that my degree will help. That will help.
So if you, being the only child, didn't feel like you got enough love,
True.
how are all 14 of your children going to get enough love from you? How are you not setting up exactly the experience that you endured yourself?
All I can do is do my very best and be there for them, be present in their lives, and have